This is the worst change Helldivers has ever had. Did you see that? Did you see that? The Ricochet changes mean that, well, if you Ricochet, it just comes straight back at you. Watch this from the Eruptor. This literally instantly kills me. What is going on? What the hell is this? Also, I've got to throw this in there. This is just an amazing cluster bomb. Look at this. This is how to die like a hero. Look how many kills. That is amazing. What the hell? So it comes as no surprise that the recent Helldivers 2 patch has basically broke the game in a lot of different ways. But also there's some very strange decisions that the devs have made, and it doesn't really make any sense. This, though, is a good decision. This is the introduction of super commas into the stats. So when you're obviously at well, I was going to say the world map, but, you know, when you're at the Galactic War map, you bring it up, it tells you how many Helldivers are active, enemies killed, Helldivers killed in action, and bullets fired. There's now commas, so we can read this better. Good change. So you thought Ricochets might be bad. Well, check this out. So this was found over on Reddit. Again, there's a link to all of this stuff in the video description below. If you've got the plasma shotgun equipped and then you've got a shield generator backpack, it detonates inside the shield whenever you fire it. I mean, what the hell? That is a terrible bug. That needs fixing ASAP. This is another Ricochet death. Again, I think the thing with this is, guys, this should be happening like once in a blue moon. It shouldn't be happening like every game, all of the time, on every single Ricochet. Here's another example as well. And yeah, you can see this. It's just terrible. I mean, it's happening with the Eruptor more than the other weapons because it just instantly kills you because, well, it explodes. On the subject of bugs again, check out the Quasar. Now, this was an issue with this weapon before, but the weapon has been fired, and you'll notice that the heat is dissipating from the heatsink, and you should be able to fire again now. Problem is, you can't, and you still have to wait. So, yeah, they've nerfed the weapon without actually nerfing the overlay. It's not great. They need to sort this out. Have you played against any Hulks recently with the, well, Scorcher Hulks with the flamethrowers? They're meant to have been nerfed. They're still instantly killing players. You can see in this video clip here. Like, what is going on? Players are instantly dying to the damage. This is broke. Again, it needs to be fixed. I think the problem we've got here with Helldivers is they list patch notes as if changes are actually in the game, and then we find out they're not in the game, and it's very confusing as players, well, of the game. And this was actually super confusing. So there was patch notes that basically indicated they were increasing the spawn rate of patrols if you're playing the game solo, which caused players to go absolutely nuclear. And that's fair enough. If you want to play the game solo, it seemed like a pointless nerf for them to go, no, actually, we're just going to make it way harder, because the game was fairly difficult if you were playing solo anyway. But I am of the mindset, once you got it sort of down to an art, you could actually blast through the missions fairly quickly. You just had to avoid all combat, essentially, apart from if you needed to take out enemies on an objective. You had to be really fast to make sure no reinforcements spawn. But that was kind of it. Anyway, the change actually isn't a nerf, it's just fixing things. And this goes back to the way Arrowhead are wording the changes in the patch notes. So this pops up from Spitz. Bit of clarification. This is from the Worlds team. We unintendedly had non-linear scaling of the patrol spawns, so they didn't spawn as often as they should have when less than 4 players. The intention is that 1 player has 1/4 of the patrols compared to 4 players, but it used to be that they had 1/6. So rather than arbitrarily making the game harder, I guess they just put it where it was meant to be. And yeah, now if this was in the patch notes to begin with, I think players would have just been like, oh, okay, they're fixing it. It was easier than it should have been. Problem is, the patch notes basically read as if, no, we're just making this harder, so get lost. If you like playing the game on your own, it's going to be more difficult now. So yeah, it's all about language, isn't it? Twinbeard also comes in with an update on performance issues. So if you have been noticing worse performance, and I definitely have, I've been noticing like these stutters, which are not great since the last update. Twinbeard says this: Helldivers, we know some of you are experiencing performance issues on the battlefield after this day's patch. You're not imagining something is off as a charger leg after getting quadruple tapped by a railgun. Our engineers are working hard to resolve the issue. We'll update you as soon as we know more. So yeah, at least they've acknowledged it, and yeah, we'll know more in future. Now this is actually kind of a sweet change. So this again was noticed over on Reddit. There's a link to the video description in the video below, or link in the video description below. But basically, the Dilligence counter sniper can now one-shot devastators in the head, which is actually very powerful. And this actually might make me use this weapon more, because taking them out with one hit is actually surprisingly easy, because they're kind of easy to hit, even the heavy devastators with the shield. So this actually is a major buff to this weapon. Against bugs, this isn't going to be too great. I mean, bugs are generally swarming you, but against bots, this could be a hell of a weapon. And who knows, maybe there's a new enemy going to show up at some point, and it might be really good against them. But yeah, it behaves kind of like a mini AMR, which I think is always been the intent of the weapon. So what are your thoughts of the patch so far? I think my very early impressions are I'm dying way too much to ricochets. Now, you've got to be super careful here, because if you're using a weapon that could ricochet, it's going to go straight back at you and hit you, which is crazy. It shouldn't be doing that all of the time. That doesn't do it all of the time, but it does it at least feels like 90% of the time. I can tell you in the last 2 games that I've had, it's happened to me like 4 times. That is crazy. Like, it shouldn't be happening that often. It should be something that is a rare occurrence. Now, what this is doing to the game is it means when you look at the flow of the game and you're firing ammo into, like, I don't know, a cluster of enemies, or you're pumping bullets into them, firing at them with the autocannon, firing at them with the eruptor, whatever, there is a chance that it could just be sent straight back to you, and it's like, it doesn't make any sense. That really shouldn't be happening. I mean, armor should deflect away, shouldn't it? Because it's usually sloped. It shouldn't just go straight back to you. So, I don't know. Maybe the devs have just put it in because they thought it would be funny, but really it needs toning down, and it really needs toning down ASAP. So what about the ammo changes? Honestly, I've not really noticed too much of an issue with needing to pick more ammo up off the floor. I mean, you can see me using the eruptor in this gameplay footage in the background. The annoying thing with the eruptor is you still cycle a bolt when you've got no ammo left. So, like, you find your last round off and you still go through the whole cycling a bolt. So you think you've got another shot, but you don't. And then you go to fire and it's like, I need to reload. But of course it was nerfed. It was nerfed in terms of its magazine capacity, or number of magazines. So you've got less. So yeah, you need to reload more often, which is a little bit frustrating. But I can't say that this is really affecting me too much. I talk about things like the R19 pistol. Again, I don't really think the recoil makes much of a difference to that weapon anyway. It still feels like the same weapon it was before the nerf. I'm still yet to play any games with the laser weapons. I think the Scythe is a lot more powerful now. The Rovers are way more powerful now. They just do 30% more damage. They're actually really good on the bug missions as well. Obviously, they will team kill you faster now, but they're pretty good, especially if you've got things like Stalkers coming after you, which now Stalkers apparently seem to be totally invisible. I can't say I've seen them totally invisible in the games that I've played. Maybe that's a bug, literally a bug of a bug. I don't know. It might be. I'm just not even sure. But yeah, the guard dog will generally keep you alive against them, or at least it will attack them so you can finish them off with a bit of extra damage. So I think that's pretty much it. The thing is, guys, when they update the game, they seem to be adding more bugs to the game, and they don't seem to be fixing known issues or issues which are actually broken in the game, or at least fixing them fast enough. And then they're just adding more bugs in. Like, you know, if you want to use the plasma shotgun, oh, well, guess what? If you've got a shield equipped, it's now just going to detonate as you fire. Like, these are crazy things. It's like, what is going on there? How is that even happening? I don't agree with the Ricochet changes. I think they're a little bit more sinister in my mind, because that's an actual decision made by the devs to go, you know what, we're going to do this, which is very odd. I mean, it's punishing you for hitting armor, which, yeah, I don't know. It's not great. Yeah, I don't know where we're going to go from here, guys, but, like, it's an interesting one, isn't it, this patch? On the face of it, there was a ton of changes, a ton of buffs, possibly could maybe change up the weapon meta, pushing it more into, like, a laser sort of meta in some ways, but then you've got nerfs to things like the Quasar, and then you've got the whole issue with the Quasar not actually displaying the nerf correctly. Yeah, there's a ton of issues. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm still enjoying the game. Actually, I do think that the new mission type is very easy. You just run in, click buttons, and then blow up eggs and run out. It's not that hard. I thought we were going to have to wait there while the silos turned off, but you don't. You just literally click a button and they turn off. Anyway, I don't know. All right, guys, thank you for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. I'll catch you lovely lot on the next one. See you soon.